pucks out back fist entry and he grabs. The second he grabs, now it's hard to do your Wing Chun unless you know what to do. The elbow comes over top at this point and traps his arms. Look, my one arm is trapping his two. I have one free to hit. So as I go to do that and I make that strike happen, notice if he had tension, he walks into that strike. But is this strike going to be strong and powerful? No. But what it will do is it'll give you a chance to hit and maybe set something up after. All right, so what is sticky hands? It's a question I get quite a bit, and it's like, the easiest way to explain it is I'm gonna put Eric under the fire here. Eric's gonna close his eyes, but he's gonna grab my hands. So he grabs my hands, he cannot see right now. I'm gonna try and punch him in the face, like legit try and punch him in the face. If I punch him, this is gonna be funny. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Good, good, right? So little nick in the head, but barely, barely. How was Eric able to do that? He had sticky hands. Really all he did was he just knew where I was. I could have easily countered it and hit him, but that's a whole nother thing. The whole concept of sticky hands is just knowing where your opponent is. So for example, if he threw a jab at my face, here I don't know where his hand is. I've evaded the jab, maybe I give him a little shot, I do my fox out entry, and where are we? We're at sticky hand, right? Or chi sao. Really here, if you're looking at it, is one hand is touching the other and this hand is touching this. Now I know where his weapons are. How I choose to hit him after that isn't necessarily up to me. Maybe if my Wing Chun or my trapping skills were very good. If they weren't so good, usually I like to teach the concept of man sao, asking hand, how would you like me to hit you today? But before we get there, I want to just get to the idea of how we typically see chi sao. Chi sao is usually shown here in Wing Chun where we're just rotating through. Again, it's the exact same concept. Okay? My left hand is on top of his right. My right hand is on the inside of his left. Pak fak, or here, fuk sao and bong, rotating into tan and fuk, right? So what are we trying to do? We're just trying to make sure that we stay safe if we're ever going to get hit, right? So if Eric's hands are up, and he fires a jab at me, I'm not using Wing Chun at this point. What I have to do is I have to make sure I'm close enough though that I can use my trapping. So I'm kind of like in this boxing, longer range. I'm not quite in the trapping range yet. The second I pack back fist entry, notice I stepped into a closer range. So now if you see, my jab, if I was to throw it at him, would go way past his head and I would actually be losing quite a bit of power off my jab there. So instead, I'm putting a threat on him and that threat is a back fist. If he didn't block it, the back fist would hit. From there, I would change into whatever striking that I come from. If I come from karate, maybe it's a rear punch. If I come from boxing, maybe it's an overhand. But how you got there was you used the trapping. What we're trying to do is make somebody who's comfortable at long range, if he's firing a jab, get into a range that he's not comfortable with. And he's not comfortable, and I'm trained to be comfortable. This gives me a chance to do a lot of things. Common things are, though, is people love to grab. Right? So when Eric fires that at me, I counter him, I go pucks out back fist entry and he grabs. The second he grabs, now it's hard to do your Wing Chun unless you know what to do. The elbow comes over top at this point and traps his arms. Look, my one arm is trapping his two. I have one free to hit. So as I go to do that and I make that strike happen, notice if he had tension, he walks into that strike. But is this strike going to be strong and powerful? No. But what it will do is it'll give you a chance to hit and maybe set something up after. We don't know what that's going to be all the time. And that's why we have to be able to come from our tool belt of many different styles of martial arts. But we need to be really good at understanding the ranges that we're at so that you're making sure you're using the right strike or the right weapon for the range. If you like trapping, you can use your trapping. But ideally use your trapping to set up the other things because there's not a lot of people that feel comfortable at that trapping range. Train hard. Hey, what's going on? Way to make it to the end of the video. You're obviously very dedicated towards the learning of self-defense within your own self. So with that being said, if you want more information or if you want more things to train, I've had lots of people reach out and inquire like, how do I train with you, Kevin? How do I learn your system? My group classes are full. My private lessons are full, so unfortunately I don't have anything for the time being, but Buddha Brothers and I, a couple of years ago, put together this fantastic digital seminar, and it literally goes through everything that you could probably think about. So with that being said, it's on buddhabrothers.com. Click the link below. Make sure to like and subscribe for all the major content that we're going to be putting out. We're doing this free for you guys because we want you to build confidence, for you to feel safer on the street so that we can make this world a great place. But you gotta train your ass off to get there. So keep up training. Good job.